Hey fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. And today it is this trending silk skirt. Some call it silk, some call it satin. Okay, they are all the same. So join me while I cut this trending skirt. It is one of the easiest skirt to cut. Now you can use satin, you can use silk to make yours, okay, but this silk has a bit of stretch. This is the fabric I will be using. Mine has this, it stretches a little bit, okay. And remember, there is no pocket or anything, and is a seamless waist, okay. So this is the measurement. She's waist 30 divided by 4, hip 40, skirt length and waist to nail. These are the 4 measurements you need to cut this skirt, no other one. All right, the waist is the waist where the skirt, we know we have 2 types of waist, lower waist and higher waist. That is the natural waist, okay. So this is my pattern paper. I folded it into 2. If you're cutting this skirt, please use pattern paper, it's compulsory. So folding into 2, we have to mark our waist, okay. This pattern paper is 12.5 when I folded into 2, so this is the measurement. So by the waist I will be marking 7, okay. Now this skirt does not have that, neither does it doesn't have that. The zip is by the side. Some of them don't even have zip, some do, okay. So once I mark the waist, which is the beginning, I'll place my tape. You can see how I placed it. The next measurement is my hip line. Now your hip line depends on where you're wearing your skirt from, but for this particular client it is 8, okay, and the new is 18, and the full length is a 3/4. She wants it 3/4, so we are going for 31.5 according to the calculation. So I'll just go ahead and use my marker, indicate the necessary lines. I just mark the hip, and this is the new, and this is the full length. Now here is the waist, right, and here is the hip and the new. The full length is the skirt length. So guys, this is it, our waist. Now our waist is 7.5, which I have marked already, okay. Remember, the hip is 10. All right, the hip is 10, which is here. The total length is 12.5, so this is 10. Now when it comes to the skirt length, you have 2 options. Either you cut it to be straight or pencil. Exactly what you marked in the hip is what you mark, or you take 2 to 3 inches away and mark it pencil. Now I want it pencil. All right, I want it pencil so it will have more free effect, okay, more flay effect. Now waist to hip, I've connected it. The next part is hip. Either you connect straight, and see how I connected straight one, or you connect it penciled. For me, pencil is okay. Now if you decide to connect it straight, you still get the same result. All right, so in fashion there is no particular way to getting the same result. You can pass another way and still get the result, okay. So for me, pencil is okay. I'll just go ahead and cut, okay. You must get a pencil skirt or a straight skirt if you're cutting this kind of satin silk skirt that is trending right now. It is very important. Now having done that, we'll go ahead and cut. Right, this is it. We take this out. You see that? Now our pencil skirt is ready. What next? The next thing we need to mark is time for slash and spread. I'm going for slash and spread method to achieve this. Okay, there are other methods, but the skirt we are making, okay, I'm going for slash and spread. Now you're either measuring, the highest you can measure in what I'm marking right now is 4, which all right, but I'm going for 3 inches, or I will take this to be the nipple to nipple. Okay, at most 4.5, depending on the size of the person, but for because of the size of who I'm making this dress for, 3 inches is very okay. Okay, 3 inches is very okay. 3 inches, at most 4 inches, depending on the size of the person. All right, so you mark 3 inches all through down and connect it. You see how I'm connecting it? Straight down. This is 3 inches. Here is 3 inches. 3. All right. Now, having marked this, the next is to cut. We need to slash it open. What method I'm using to get mine, all right, is slash and spread. Okay, which for me gives me the perfect result. Now, your slash and spread will not stop right at the hip. It needs to go close to the waist, between 2 inches to 4 inches, depending, but at most it should not get to the waistline. As you're cutting it, you're checking it. As you're spreading it, when it's time to spread, you're equally checking it. So we cut. Okay, we will spread it. Remember, this is folded into 2, and the pattern I'm cutting, the paper itself is still folded into 2. Then you get your fabric and place it this way. You see, most important thing is the 3 inches has to be straight. The 3 inches has to be straight. Please bear that in mind. It is very important that the 3 inches is straight. Now, the distance from the 3 inches to the spread, I went for 9. You can keep spreading, but mind you, this satin skirt is more like it's more like a straight skirt. Just that on the down, you're having this flay, effect. Okay, then you cut. All right, you're not cutting it straight. You're just curving it. The way it is curved. That is how you cut. It must not be cut straight. All right, just follow it the way it connects itself and cut. All right, you equally cut the side. Please, I've not done the cutting of the waist of this skirt. The waist of the skirt has not been cut. I've not touched it. I've done the cutting of the side, which I left some space. The waist, I've not done anything on the waist. Before doing anything on the waist, this is what you do. You bring it closer. You see how I'm bringing it closer? You bring it closer. You see all these parts. Bring them back closer. All right. This part was what formed that flay you see on the down. Okay, you see it. Now we'll move to the waist part of it. This is the down. Make sure they are close enough before moving to the waist. In order to make sure we get a straight waist, you must do it this way. Okay. Now, before, when we spreaded it, the waist was not straight. It wasn't straight like this. Okay, it wasn't this straight. So you cannot cut. Bringing it back, now it is straight. So you cut your waist. All right, so this is it. Now by the side, I added some allowances. In fact, this dress does not need much allowance because it has this a little bit of stretchiness. Like it stretches a little bit. It's not all that stretches. Now for the finishing of this skirt, it is a seamless skirt, meaning you're not using a band. You can do band if you choose to, but how it is done is they use elastic. Okay, they sew the elastic and turn it in. So when you wear it, it becomes a seamless skirt. You'll not be seeing where it is sewn. All right. Another thing is the zip is by the side. just a side zip, no dart. There is no dart. The zip is by the side. If there will be a zip, some of them do not even have zip. Some of them do not have zip, some do. And those that have zip do not use elastic. So if you're using elastic, there will be no zip, because elastic will hold in a little excess. Right? If you're not using elastic, there will be zip.